Yo, what's up, guys? It's King Sean here, and day 5 of training camp is officially in the books. The pads came on for the first time today, and I'm here to talk about it. Y'all know how we do these. I talk about Dan Quinn's press conference first, and then I go through some of the stuff that happened during practice. So, if you guys are new to my channel, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm on the road to 4K subs. If you could, hit that sub button. I'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so like I said in my intro, the pads came on for the first time today, but despite the pads coming on for the first time, there wasn't a whole lot of information from practice today. I mean, we got some, but today was a shorter practice. I think it was around an hour and 30 some minutes, or maybe shorter. Usually practice is around 2 hours, so we didn't get as much information as, well, I at least expected us to get, but we did get a good amount. So, starting with Dan Quinn's press conference, I'm going to cover 3 things here. He said the level of concern with Andrew Wiley is nothing. Andrew Wiley practiced in individual and team drills today. He just had some tightness over the past couple of practices, so they just, were being very cautious with him, so they held him out yesterday, and I think the practice before yesterday as well. So everything's fine with Andrew Wiley. He was back out there as a starting right tackle, which is good to see. I mean, I'm not the biggest Andrew Wiley guy, but it is good to see that, he doesn't have any significant injury and he's back out there working with these starters. Dan Quinn said they'll start using Johnny Newton in some team drills soon. Not today. They didn't today, but soon. And, I like that because if you do it, they don't want to rush him back. There's no point in rushing him back. I mean, he's participating in individual drills, which is really good, but he just came off of foot surgery, and foot surgery, that's not something to play with. Obviously, Terry McLaurin, he had turf toe last year. He suffered a turf toe injury against the Ravens preseason, and we did a good job handling it. We took a situation with cautious, but when it came time for game week 1, he practiced all week and he was ready for week 1. So I do like that we're using cautiousness for Johnny Newton because he just came off of foot surgery, and we're trying to ramp him up because he didn't participate at all in OTAs and mini camps, so we're trying to ramp him up, get him acclimated to the defense, and then once he's ramped up, acclimated to the defense, then he'll start taking part in team drills, which I like. And then finally, Dan Quinn on Brandon Coleman, he said that, quote, and he was a very good athlete, but one of the things I've been impressed with is he has great balance for a big guy. He is very rarely someone who is out of position. He's a very in control player as an offensive lineman, and that's a real attribute as an offensive lineman, a really good attribute as an offensive lineman. So yeah, Brandon Coleman, he was very athletic. We all knew he was very athletic coming out of the draft, but his great balance as an offensive lineman has definitely impressed Dan Quinn, and that is very important to an offensive lineman's success in the NFL. So Dan Quinn is very pleased by the balance he already has as a rookie offensive tackle, offensive lineman. So I like how, Brandon Coleman has developed so far in training camp, and he played really good today. He performed well in training camp today. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Brandon Coleman, he's at a very good training camp so far. All right, so moving on to stuff that happened during practice today. Austin Eckler, Damiere Byrd, Mikey Sanders-Still, Olamide Zaccheaus, Davion Davis, Dax Milne, Casmer Allen, Jahan Dotson, Emmanuel Forbes, and Jamison Crowder were all returning kicks today. It will be interesting who we choose to be our kick returner. If I had to guess, it'll probably be maybe Jamison Crowder, Damiere Byrd, Casmer Allen, or Olamide Zaccheaus to be our returner, because with the new kickoff rules, we need a explosive returner. I think Casmer Allen can provide that if he can actually hold on to the ball. Jamison Crowder, he's reliable. He won't muff the ball, fumble the ball, things of that nature. He isn't the most explosive returner, you could say, but he did have our one punt return touchdown back in 2016 against the Ravens, which is really nice. So he can provide some spark there at returner. And you also have Olamide Zaccheaus, who I don't think has ever returned punts before, but he could provide a spark there. So we shall see who we pick to be our returner. Back at tackle, Andrew Wiley is back to starting at right tackle, and Brandon Coleman got most of the first team left tackle snaps, which is really nice. I'm really rooting for Brandon Coleman to win that left tackle starting job. I have faith in him. He has excellent athleticism, great balance. He has all the tools to become a starting caliber left tackle, and if he does, then that would be insane, because a third-round pick turning into a starting caliber left tackle would be nuts. That would be a slam dunk pick, for Adam Peters. Moving on, Jaden Daniels, he got first team reps in 11v11, goal line work, full pads, tells the story. It's nice to see Jaden Daniels getting first team reps over Marcus Mariota now. He should be getting a lot more of those in the next couple of days and weeks, so that's nice to see. Payne got quick pressure on Jaden Daniels on one play, and he would have been sacked, so it's nice to see Daron Payne balling out there in training camp, with the pads on and stuff. He needs to have a bounce back season because last year he wasn't really that great. Him and Jonathan Allen, they both had down years compared to the 2022 season. I mean, they were like two of the best defensive tackles in 2022, and in this past season, they just weren't. They extremely regressed. So hopefully they can get back to where they were in 2022, and I feel like they will. With Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. as the leaders of this defense now. Next up, let's see what else we have. Marcus Mariota, he threw a touchdown on a slant to Olamide Zaccheaus, which was pretty cool right there. Olamide Zaccheaus, he's making plays in practice. Jeremy Chinn made a couple of nice plays today. He had a really nice pass breakup covering Zach Ertz on a slant in the end zone in red zone drill. So Jeremy Chinn, he's an absolute baller, man. I'm super excited to see what he can do as our strong safety and across from Quan Martin, who's going to be our starting free safety, or is expected to be our starting free safety. So I'm really excited to see what those two can do. They've been showing out in training camp so far, which is a very, very good thing. What else do we have here? Brandon Coleman had another monster block against Clelin Ferrell, putting him down after Ferrell tried to run the hoop. So that's really cool there. Brandon Coleman has been having an absolute stellar camp so far, and hopefully that continues. And if that continues through the preseason, he's definitely got that starting left tackle job on locks, in my opinion. Nick Alberti did a good job getting out of space on a screen to McNichols on this one play. Andre Jones getting his hands up at the line of scrimmage to force an incompletion, so we'll see if he makes the roster. I doubt it because we do have a lot of guys at edge rusher already. KJ Henry, Clelin Ferrell, Dante Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong, Javonte Jean-Baptiste. So we have a lot of guys, and I'm not sure if there will be enough room for Andre Jones to make the roster, but we shall see. What else do we have here? Oh, Terry actually dropped the pass from Jaden Daniels, which, that's a shock. Terry rare drop. Terry McLaurin doesn't drop many passes. He did last year. He dropped a couple against the Eagles. I want to say the Seahawks as well, but he rarely drops passes, so hopefully that's just a one-time thing. Benson, and he had another drop today with Keandre Jones in coverage. Man, Benson, I'm not sure what's going on with his drops. He didn't really have many drops in college, especially last year. I don't think he had a single drop at Kansas State last year, so these drops are weird. Hopefully he can get that cleaned up because he has really high upside. He's a very athletic tight end. He's a great blocker. He's a great receiver as well. So he has high upside. A guy like Zach Ertz can groom him into becoming a really good tight end, but he has to clean up his drops. So hopefully that happens sooner rather than later. And then finally, Jaden Daniels finished the day with back-to-back touchdowns. The first one to Olamide Zaccheaus on an out route, and then the next, a drop-off to Eckler on the left side. Eckler was pretty much wide open on the play reportedly, so it's nice to see him finishing strong. He had a better day today than yesterday, which is really, really good. Good to see Jaden Daniels bouncing back, and good to see him getting the majority of the first-team reps. So that is really it for day 5 of training camp. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications. Like I said, I'm on the road to 4,000 subscribers. So if you could, hit that sub button. I really appreciate it. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.